Well, we're going to change the oil pump. I mean, why not? I mean, it's not the most ideal weather. Everything is frozen, but yeah, the oil pump's kind of bad. Let me. So here's the new oil pump. Here's the new, pretty much good used oil pan, and these are cast alloy. And you know, it's a 500 series pan because it's a shallow pan. Deep pan is D240 series engines. So I don't know, I'm going to just take the oil pan off and see what we find. I'm sure we find something, but the low oil pressure was really nagging me in the head. So I was like, you know what, we got to do it. This is, you know, what I just think about. I leave the tractor, you know, running on low, pretty much on, you know, low RPMs, and then I come back, this engine is wasted. Yeah, not good. So less happen, more work. I'll just take the impact and I'll show you what I find. Okay, we have the oil pan off, and this is what the oiled internal looks like. No shrapnel, but the oil pump she's done. Like, look at the wear. I mean, you probably don't see it, but these gears are worn and pitted, and this bushing is just going in and outwards. So we just have internal pressure loss. I'm not going to salvage the pump. I'm just going to keep the tubes and pickups. And that pickup is I'm not sure if it's 800 series or not, but we're keeping that one. But you know, this entire oil pan doesn't look that bad. But if you actually look underneath it, you can see it's been patched. It's been patched and it was leaking from those spots. And there's some other weird stuff going on here. I don't know. Maybe this oil pan gets schmucked at some point. Who knows? But anyway, the only things I salvaged from that oil pan is the splash shield and basically the oil plug. That's it. That's a good used one, and I'm going to put that one in. Also, this pump is a very good used one. The only problem why the guy took it off was the engine block froze. He forgot to drain the water. But basically, you can see inside this engine here. I don't know how much you can pick up because the camera isn't that great, but it's sludgy. But yeah, there's some worn gears in the you know, drivetrain compartment, but it's not too horrible. I don't know whether these are 800 or 500 series rods. We'll figure it out. Now I have to clean all the gasket surfaces. That's gonna be a pain because this one gasket that just is stubborn as heck. But I'm going to see. Maybe I can just kind of yank it out. So basically, I do have new gaskets. We're going to put some RTV, and if we can't get the gaskets out, the other best option is just to reuse the old gaskets, put new rubber seals on the oil pan, and we're good to go, because this engine's going to come apart anyway in the future. So it's good enough for me. So I'm going to start cleaning and tearing up this stuff and cataloging and seeing where what goes, and then we'll be back again. Well, there's some sludginess in this engine, but it's definitely looking good. I mean, what do you expect from diesel engine? I mean, I've seen worse than this, so it's pretty okay. Alrighty, we're back. Now, here's what's left of the old oil pan gasket. Pretty much just old, really rotten asbestos gasket. That was rock hard, but I did do something. Now here's the new oil pan. Now, if you're installing this, make sure that all the surfaces are clean, and the gasket you have, sorry, I have to adjust this. So basically, the gasket matches the oil pan. Like, if they are like oblongated holes, sometimes these holes like here are not straight, so I'm going to pretty much adjust this so that the bolts go through. And you only put a silicone on these surfaces, but not here. This has to be dry. So basically, I'm going to do a little bit of, you know, get this gasket installed, and then we're going to put it back. But let me show you what else is going on here as well. So, as you saw, this is the underside. There's our new oil pump, and if you're installing this, make sure that you have a backslash here. If you don't, then your pump is going to bind or not function at all, so that is important. And the other thing is, if you're putting the oil tube there, make sure you start putting that last, because that one fought me almost half an hour, and that was like a real pain to install. So installing that one will take time. So the locks have been all folded over. The upper bolts have secured with thread locker. I don't know what the exact number is, but maybe it's 27, maybe 30 Newton meters, I don't know. But check this out, people. Here's the crankshaft, and look what it does. Yeah. I would say, oh yeah. That's not ideal. That's pretty, yeah. I would say she has some slack. Sometimes there's a washer there. Sometimes you can find these washers in the oil pan, and that means that things are really bad. Now this is not great, but right now I'm not really concerned. Cleaned up all the gasket surfaces. So let's install the oil pan and find out what else. I mean, I can't do anything about the backlash. That's kind of what it is. That's going to have to be addressed sometime later. Not too sludgy, but seen worse. Okay, let me install the oil pan and see where we go from there. Okay, I mean, I had to abandon the project for a while because we're into some issues. The first issue is these red gaskets for the oil pan. I mean, I couldn't get this one to seal. Basically, we just flip out, and I had all the problems. And then I was like, why? And sure enough, let me put it up for you. Not that side. I'll try to show, if I can, what the deal with these things are. Oh my god, this camera doesn't cooperate at all. Like, look, I'm going to put these side by side, and can you see how long the red one is compared to the black one? The black one's the OEM one. So basically, yeah, this is never going to fit. The same is with the other side. Same drill. I'll put them together, and sure enough, look at the difference. I'm gonna have to get some new gaskets. Actually unusable, so basically I'm going to take them with me and going to see if I can find a suitable OEM one. Now you would say, oh, maybe this is for a different model. The D240 and D50 have the same gasket set. They shouldn't be different. This here is some, I don't know, like swanky aftermarket gasket. This one is the OEM, so I didn't want to use the OEM ones. I mean, I don't care if the silicone froze, but we're going to get it done. It's just going to have to go to the parts store again. Okay, as you saw, the oil pressure is better. I mean, when the engine's hot, it's 1.9 kilograms per square centimeter. So, I mean, a bit better, but definitely from all that slack in the crankcase. So, well, yeah, I mean, it's not going to seize up at least, but was worth doing because the old oil pan was leaking badly. This one, dry. Let me show you one tip. If you're installing this oil pan, there's two bolts. One is here and one is there. There's short bolts and there's 4 long bolts. Long bolts go into the upper corners where those gaskets are. But if you're installing these two, if you have the carrier, just let the carrier loose, then you can get a wrench there. Otherwise, you can't get even a socket there. You'll be just fighting, or get creative. I don't know. Like that's really like there's like literally no room. But otherwise, I would say she's just good now. I mean, the oil pressure is slightly better, but these engines, there's a T400, T240 block, but it's a T50 engine. Like these are notorious for having bad oil pressure, especially when they have run like for decades. But I put some additives in it. I mean, they won't hurt really. I mean, what else, you know? I mean, I've used them everywhere else. Just there's no problem with them ever. So the oil refiner is cleaned. Now, another pro tip when you're installing the oil pan. If you are installing the oil pan, have 4 studs lined up so you can actually, or something underneath the pan to lift it up, like a little jack or something. That won't hurt anyone. And this gasket set, I mean, if you find these brown or red gaskets, just be careful, because one of them is way too big. Usually the front one, I had to trim it and basically glue it together. I mean, it's holding, but definitely when installing these, just be aware. I mean, the OEM stuff, perfect fit. This stuff, a little bit finicky. Not going to say it's a bad gasket set, but it definitely needs some work around to be able to be fitted, especially the older machines. So now, I guess we have knocked off one of the things that I was supposed to do in the summer. I mean, installing back the oil pan, not fun, but doable. Now, let's go to the more scientific and last part. We're going to dismantle the old oil pump and the oil refiner and see what is inside. Okay, here's the internals from my tractor's oil refiner. There's some metal debris here, but nothing really that special. Definitely didn't change the oil ring. And internally, pretty clean. Really, I did clean this one out when I first got the tractor. It was, you know, sludge full to here, but I don't know. This one we can reuse. I mean, no other problems. Just clean it up and put it back together. Now, so despite a few metal pieces, not much interesting. Let's see what the oil pumps looks like. Here's the internals of the old oil pump. Well, I guess this is a very typical thing you see, is this bushing inside the idler gear. It's just completely trashed. The other pump I have had the same problem. That's what now inside the tractor. This one, oh yeah, she's just on the gears. Not horrible. This one, oh yeah, the surface is really worn. You can feel the ridge. Everything else is fine. I'm gonna keep the pickup tube. That's a 500 pickup tube, later one, but whatever, we can use it. Oh my god, really? Sorry, got interrupted by a call. Basically, this is fuel barred, this is fuel barred. This case is okay, but I would say she's done for. And also look at the gear. This gear is just chewed up. There's nothing left anymore. There's some pitting, and yeah, this pump is pretty much trash now. That concludes the nerdy part for the tractor nerds out there. So yeah, that pump was done for anyway. It would have failed at some point. So now we have a workable pump. I mean, the pressure is slightly better, but you know what? It's done. I don't have to deal with that for the foreseeable future anymore. So I'm gonna leave the links in the description. And one more about this oil pump. The 500 and 800 series have a different oil pump, so I'm going to list the parts numbers. There was a time where you couldn't get the oil pumps at all, and it was probably in the 90s and 2000s, but now they're available, and I don't know, maybe someone, I don't know what the heck is going on, but definitely those pumps don't really interchange that well. And I believe the one problem is this gear ratio is different on the 500 and 800. The pump is virtually the same. The only difference is also that the 800 has the deep, suction tube, or basically the catch pan, but everything else internal is the same. But this gear is pressed on, and I don't think you can press it out. It's really a tight fit. So yeah, so know what you have inside and get the correct oil pump. Definitely, if you're buying a new one, don't buy them via e-shops. It might be not working. If there are like spots where the oil pump feels like heavy and it doesn't want to move, just don't buy that oil pump. Definitely, if you're going to buy a new one, take the old one with you to the store and test them out. That's the only advice I can give to my viewers. So okay, people, decide to remove the oil oil filter, or what's it called, oil refiner basically. And I think we found the cause why the oil pressure was a bit funky. Like this spring is done for. This spring is, I don't know, it's so stiff, it's not even the original spring. But the worst part is these plungers. I don't know if the camera can focus that much, but look at these, look at the wear on these things. Like my fingernail, oh my god, filming with the phone is probably the worst. Like here's the plungers. Yeah, they're done for. There's no way I can polish these plungers anymore. So I guess I'll put this back together, and we'll see what happens. But we have a donor, so maybe this one's better. So I'm going to dismantle this one and also keep track on where this goes. One of them is the oil pressure side. So basically, if you're taking this apart, make sure you know how deep the screw is. This that part over there. So basically, that's very important. If you mess it up, you pretty much your oil pump may pretty much explode. So, okay, enough yapping. Let's get back to work. Well, the final conclusion is that basically it now works. The oil pressure is good. It's about 4 in cold and about 2 in when it's hot. So basically, that's the ideal. I mean, I can't ask anything better than that. And the old saying is, if it stays in the green, you're good to go. And usually with these engines, these D50 engines, is they can operate as low as 0.9 kilograms per square centimeter. So basically, they're really low operating engines in general in terms of oil pressure. Now, as for the oil refiner, if your O-ring is not the correct size, get the right size O-ring, or just I don't know. I wouldn't use like glue it shorter or make it shorter. The reason that I had one pressure loss was the original, or the previous O-ring was just too large, and I couldn't get it to seal, and it just blew out. The other thing that I noticed was also that these old plungers were completely, scuffed and scored. So, and one spring was broken. So basically, that's your other thing. And the final conclusion is the repair was a success. Can use the machine now, and no oil leaks and no oil pressure problems. So I'm really happy that it came out like this.